I was browsing through old files when I stumbled across a set of documents that chilled me to the bone. They were dated back to the late 1940s, from a classified Soviet research project. As I read through them, I realized I had uncovered the infamous Russian sleep experiment. The experiment was designed to test the effects of prolonged sleep deprivation on human subjects. 5 political prisoners were selected, all deemed undesirable by the Soviet government. They were placed in a sealed chamber with a gas-based stimulant that was supposed to keep them awake for 30 days straight. At first, everything seemed to go according to plan. The subjects were monitored closely, their physical health recorded daily. They were given food and water but were denied sleep. The researchers observed the initial effects: increased irritability and paranoia. The subjects became obsessed with the idea of sleep, talking incessantly about it. As days passed, things took a horrifying turn. The prisoners began to exhibit severe psychological distress. They started whispering to each other in hushed tones, sharing their fears and hallucinations. They claimed to see grotesque figures lurking in the shadows, taunting them with whispers of their past sins. After 15 days, one of the subjects, a man named Alexei, began screaming. He claimed he could hear voices, not just in his head, but coming from the walls. The researchers dismissed his outbursts, believing it was a normal reaction to sleep deprivation. But the screams escalated into frantic cries for help. By the 20th day, 2 of the subjects had gone silent, no longer participating in the experiment. The remaining 3 had become increasingly erratic, their minds unraveling in ways the researchers hadn't anticipated. They were now talking about the others' an unseen presence that had invaded the chamber with them. On day 30, the researchers decided to end the experiment. They entered the chamber to assess the remaining subjects. What they found was beyond anything they could have imagined. The walls were smeared with blood, and the 2 silent subjects were found dead, their bodies mutilated. The 3 remaining subjects were in a state of complete insanity. One of them, a man named Dmitry, was found in a corner, grinning widely as he stared at the researchers. When asked what had happened, he simply laughed and said, "You have to see it to believe it. You can't wake up from this." The researchers, horrified, decided to shut down the project, but not before documenting the events. The files were locked away, and the experiment was buried in secrecy, dismissed as a failure. But as I read through the final entries, I couldn't shake the feeling that the experiment didn't just end. The whispers they heard, the presence they felt, it felt like it had escaped the chamber, lingering somewhere beyond those walls. And now, as I sit in my quiet home, I can't help but hear the faintest of whispers behind me.